Good morning, everybody. For North of 8 design and marketing founder Emily Gall, I'm Dryden founder Ben Dryden, and you're watching That's Debatable with Ben and Emily today, Thursday, October 2nd, 2025. Joining us on the show today is Wisconsin's 75th Assembly District Representative Duke Tucker, where we will be discussing and debating term limits, maybe even get into a little medical marijuana and ranked choice voting conversations. That and a whole bunch more. But first, Emily, good morning. Are you ready to do this or what?
Yeah, I'm so ready to do this. I was really nervous. You said we were going to get into a little medical marijuana. I'm glad that you ended it with conversation because I was not prepared for that. Hi, Duke. It's so good to have you.
Well, it's great to be here. Thanks for the invite.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, Emily, you did ask for the show this month because we do this is the first Thursday of every month. We do a show together. You said we should get Duke on. Why? I mean, I feel like we're talking like he's not there, but like, why are we having Duke on right now?
Well, okay, so Duke is hosting a question and answer session tonight at the Burnett County Government Center. Correct me if I'm wrong on any of this, Duke. At the Burnett County Government Center, all about term limits and the resolution that he's proposed. And I just think it's a really interesting topic. We've touched on it before in our shows, and so I'd like to I just thought it'd be interesting to get his perspective. Somebody who can actually do something about it.
No, you hit it on the head there. I'm at 5 o'clock tonight at the Government Center, put on by the League of Women Voters. They've been very good to work with getting it scheduled. They'll have some snacks and stuff there, I guess, but they're going to primarily ask me about term limit bill that I have out. And there might be some other topics that come up afterwards. So it should be a fun night.
So when is this?
5 to 6 o'clock tonight.
And anyone can go?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah. Important note, the league is a nonpartisan group.
What league?
The League of Women Voters.
Is it though?
Yes.
Is it? I don't know. I don't know anything about it. But I just don't believe anytime I hear that, I'm like, whatever. Everybody is.
Hey, our county board is nonpartisan.
Is it though?
I believe it. I do. I believe in people's better angels. So yes.
All right. You're a good man, Charlie Brown. So Duke, we had, and I got it up here on my laptop. You had put out a press release that we published. This was this summer. The headline was, Representative Duke Tucker introduces constitutional amendment to establish term limits in Wisconsin, and that is our That's Debatable debate topic of the day. So tell us what this is all about, and we're going to tell you why that's debatable.
All right. Well, good. Well, I'll tell you, it's something I hear a lot about from constituents throughout the whole 75th, Polk and Burnett County. And it is an issue that is, not so much the number of years in the term limits, but it's a 75 to 80% favorable topic with voters. Not popular in Madison, by the way, but that's what brought me to putting the bill together. And not a lot of support in Madison for it from colleagues. But I will tell you, everywhere I go up here in the district, I've had really no one tell me, oh, what a terrible idea, Duke. So that was kind of why I brought it out.
Yeah.
Why not any support in Madison?
Well, I'm a little different than maybe some people. I don't feel like I'm the only person that can represent the 60,000 people in our district. And it's not a lifetime career thing for me. We're supposed to do the best we can in government to represent our district. Everyone. Doesn't matter if you're Republicans, Democrats, or Independents, or if you don't vote. I do have to value everybody's opinion and respect their views. But for me, in Madison, I will tell you, I get along with everyone well. At least I think I do. Democrats, Republicans alike. Some of them say, oh, that's support term limits. That's great. But then when the bill comes out, they don't jump on. I only have one legislator that has jumped onto this bill to sign on to it. And I just recently got a call from Senator Julian Bradley that wants to talk about my bill. He may want to propose changes to it, which is great. But right now, only one legislator signed on. It's Rob Krybeck from the 28th, which is St. Clair County area. So,
well, I can't imagine people would want to jump in, like how you would go in. Like, I truly believe that we don't need 21 board supervisors in Washburn County. Now, we can't really put that to a vote. Like, who's going to vote for themselves basically out? Like, okay, like 5 of us are going to not have jobs anymore. Is that kind of the reason why you think they're not signing on to it? Or is it like, man, we've seen this, we've heard this, we've done this, it's a no-go, it's never going to happen?
Well, there's two major, well, I will say the first initial draft of my bill included county offices as well, but I pulled that out. It didn't sound like, to me, being on the county board, just like Emily and just like you are, and even in Madison, I haven't had anybody come to me and say, oh, Duke, I'll slip you some money if you vote this way. And I think I hold myself that way where they're not going to offer me that anyway.
By the way, I would love it if people did that for me.
Yeah,
yes, 100%.
I learned on Inauguration Day why I was down there and really felt it my gut after that day based on experience I had down there. But anyways, I'll go back to the bill. There are two major things I hear about down in Madison that people don't like about my bill. And the first thing is they say, well, Duke, we have term limits already. And the other thing we'll say, well, we'll lose a whole bunch of institutional knowledge with everybody that's in the legislature already. And, for me, people that know me know, but I can make an argument on different things if I need to. And I can make an argument either way on my bill. But when it comes right down to it, the term limits that they talk about down in Madison are that every 2 years we go up for election and they can vote you out of office and get rid of you and replace you. Well, okay, that's an argument. You can say that. But then again, there's so much focus put on raising money for campaign contributions and all these things to be reelected and all this stuff. And I've said in caucus, it's no secret, Duke doesn't care about being reelected. He cares about doing the right thing. And maybe it's popular, maybe it's not to say that, but it's true. I don't need to be in government. I just do this because I think it's important for our kids and our grandkids' future. And of course, us that are older now too. But about the, institutional knowledge. Well, the legislature has many, many committees. I'm on 4 of them: Veteran and Military Affairs, Sporting Heritage, Environment, and it's to me, we have so many different people in the legislature from so many different walks of life. You got farmers, and agriculture is the other committee I'm on, and doctors, attorneys, small business owners, you name it. Even individuals that have wanted to be a career politician are in the legislature, But the bottom line is when the speaker puts together different committees, I would like to think that he looks at the background of everyone and says, oh, yeah. I didn't ask to be on the Utilities Committee, but I can tell you that's where I've pretty much made my living my whole career. And I would be a pretty good fit on the Utilities Committee, but I didn't ask to be on that one because I currently work for a company still, and I'm a stockholder at that company. I didn't feel it was appropriate. But I can bring some pretty good institutional knowledge down into the Utilities Committee because of my experience. And I don't think you need to be there for 10, 15, 20 years to have institutional knowledge. In fact, I'll tell you, I think that maybe that's not good because you may not have a fresh look at things and how life is actually going.
An argument I've heard against term limits is that if that institutional knowledge isn't held in your representatives, then it's actually held in
bureaucracy and lobbyists, right?
And the lobbyists, and so these sort of doe-eyed politicians who get elected would go into Madison and be sort of malleable to these folks with potentially an agenda. That might not be how I feel, but that's what I've heard.
They haven't dealt with me then because I don't put up with staff or make decisions or bureaucracies or lobbyists. And lobbyists are important. I've learned that in my time in being there so far. But I'll tell you, we don't have term limits now. They try to convince me that we don't have a real strong bureaucracy in Madison because we do. And our part of the state is forgotten on purpose. And I'm down there to help them remember that there are people who live north of Highway 29.
North of 8.
So it's a big deal, but I will go back and tell you that when it comes down to trusting the voters to throw you out of office or reelect you because you're doing a good job, we got to remember my bill, it has to pass the legislature twice. Yep. My bill does not put in place state law-wise that there's term limits. My bill puts it on the ballot so the voters can decide when you vote whether there should be term limits. So how can you on one hand say, well, I trust the voters to reelect you or not, but yet I don't trust those voters to say you should only serve 8 years, or if it's amended a different number of years. So that's kind of where I'm at on it. And I like discussing it because it's really not complicated. And most of the bills we see in the legislature that we go on the floor for are very common sense. I mean, they're one page, they're not all together, with the exception of like the budget and trying to hide, crappy ideas in a larger bill or whatever. But it's very straightforward, and I like discussing it.
Yeah. Oh, and I just want to go to it so people don't know. This is what you put out: key provisions of the term limit proposed amendment. This is from a press release that you had put out earlier this summer. Governor, Lieutenant Governor, Attorney General, Secretary of State, Superintendent of Public Instruction, and Treasurer limited to 2 4-year terms, so 8 years. Mm-hmm. State senators, 2 4-year terms, so 8 years. State assembly members limited to 4 2-year terms, so essentially 8 years. You said you removed the county at the county level. Why?
I didn't have people asking me about it. And I think the draft that when I asked LRB, Legislative Reference Bureau, to put together this bill for me, because, it isn't like I sit down and type this all out, the bill. I mean, everybody thinks that you write a bill, you're sitting there writing. No, you put an idea together, you give it to your staffer, it goes to LRB, it comes back in this really professional format. Well, I read it, I'm like, yeah, people haven't asked me about that, I better pull that out. So you go through different drafts, and then you basically, in the Assembly or the Senate, you need to have a co-sponsor, a co-author in the other side of the legislature. So I got to find a senator. I haven't found one yet. Julian Bradley is the only one that showed interest, to be honest with you. And actually, Romaine Quinn, he told me he had a term limit bill back when he was a freshman, and he said it never got a committee hearing. Well, I'm not surprised. These kind of bills that people want, they never see the light of day.
Duke, let me ask you what problem is this fixing again?
Great question.
What problem is it fixing?
Yeah, what problem is this fixing? Is there a problem right now? And what is the problem that this is fixing?
Well, that's a really good question because, before I jumped into politics, I thought, term limits is a really good idea. But it's just an idea, and you're not on the inside and knowing how things work. Well, now that I am in Madison, I'm going to tell you that there are bills that come up that they get pushed for campaign reasons, finance reasons. And the longer you're down there, the more that you're kind of become more prone to that. And that's never going to happen to me. It just won't. It's not who I am. And, so I see it down there. I'm not going to say that I work with a bunch of dishonest people because I don't. But I think sometimes I kind of look at do you realize when the clouds are sunk into you? I mean, does it happen so slow, like boiling the frog, that you don't understand that it's happening? And we have a lot of good people that are willing to serve. I believe that. And for me, I don't even care if I was reelected or elected, to be honest with you, to the degree of it causing tears or making me feel bad. I mean, you've got to realize when you go into public service, if someone beats you and you put yourself out there honestly, and they did too, if they beat you, they'll probably do a better job serving you and your community and your district than you would have. So just relax, go cut firewood, work in your shop, go to work, up ball games, whatever, move on.
Duke's version of go touch grass is go cut firewood.
Yeah.
I like it. So you brought up campaign finance, right? And that's something that I've sort of thought about a lot when it comes to term limits. So the political machine, as it were, it's cost prohibitive to go up against an incumbent, right? So you have to have either full party backing to be able to help subsidize your campaign. The regular people, like any of us, we can't afford to jump into these races as a regular person anymore because they're so our representatives and our senators are so entrenched after they've been there for so long, and I sort of feel like they're accountable to their campaign finance versus.
I think you're full of baloney in some ways because I'm not wealthy. I jumped in. I put the time in and went to the parades. I mean, I did more parades during campaigning than I've attended in my life. Sure. I'm not a parade kind of guy. But the thing is, you get out there with your message, I really think you can win, Emily. And I'm going to tell you that I'm pushed all the time. Send out fundraising letters, do this, do that. And I do it. But at some point, I'd like to think if I ran for re-election, I could do it without raising any money because, if you're not out there in a district and people don't know who you are, why should you serve them anyway? I mean, signs are really important to me because that's kind of where I'm at. I'm never going to send out negative ads and all this kind of stuff. I'm just not that kind of person. But for me, I think you can win without money. It's really naive to say that because when you get into higher offices, it totally changes. You talk about over $100 million going to the Supreme Court election, all these things. But when you're talking assembly and county board, I think it's a little different.
County board, absolutely. You just get some
Even
signatures.
assembly, like the get-togethers I have. I mean, I actually like being invited to get-togethers from, say, the other side more than, say, like the people that I normally hang out with. I mean, I was invited to the Democrat Party picnic in Siren here a month or so ago. And that's fine. I mean, they asked, well, geez, if we let you talk to the crowd, what are you going to say? I'm like, I'm going to say the same thing I said at the Republican picnic last week. No big deal. So, but I didn't get to speak to the crowd, but that's okay.
I think your experience in the assembly, this is debatable, which I love. Mm-hmm. I think your experience is much different than the experience that I had from the outside. Obviously, I wasn't running in the campaign I was a part of, but it was the money was insane that went into that race.
So you're referring to the 73rd, Laura Gapsky and Angie Sapek.
Yep, years ago.
And that was hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Yeah.
Pretty much $500,000 on each side almost. I mean, it was, that's not typical, right? It's right. Clear. So that's not, I mean, it's a battleground one, right? Like, okay, Milroy would be vulnerable. It's an open seat. It was close last time. But a lot of these races really aren't, I don't believe.
How much money would somebody need to win against Romaine Quinn? So much money.
You can't beat Romaine Quinn. No one's beat Romaine Quinn. He's my boy. You can't. No,
I know. I'm just as an example, right? That's a very popular incumbent, right? Mm-hmm. If somebody thinks they can do a better job than that person who's been in the, in state government for a really long time, in order to break through, you're going to need an exorbitant amount of cash. You're going to need to be everywhere on every single platform, and that's expensive. Yeah. So term limits in that sort of scenario, I feel like could help promote new folks to run.
Just to be clear, why does he keep winning? Because people keep liking him. So, I'm just saying, why would you want to get rid of somebody that the people like?
I got to tell you, you're right. It'd take a lot of money to beat Romaine. Mm-hmm. But the big reason it take money to beat him is because he's a really good candidate. He's a good legislator. And I'm going to tell you, the first time I met Romaine, I did a little snooping on him before I met him and found to know he got into politics right out of high school. And this and that.
Career politician, I tell you.
I thought, nope, I'm not going to probably like this guy, but you got to be open-minded. Then I sat down and talked with him. He's a rock star. He's the best.
And I'm using Romaine as the example of a very popular politician.
I'm texting Romaine right now and telling him that he needs to come on and listen. I'm just kidding.
No, and I don't mean it in any negative way, but that's sort of like the most tangible example I have of how these folks with all of this time and all of these support structures that they've been able to build over that time. I don't
know. How did it work out for Brad Schimmel with all the money from Elon Musk? Not very well. Money isn't just the answer. The candidate really is the answer, but money certainly plays. But I want to get back to term limits. So this is at the 8 years. This is what we're talking about. You're having a what do you call it? You're speaking tonight, right? Remind people what you're doing tonight. League of Women Voters, talking about term limits. Duke?
Yep. That's what we're mainly talking about, but it'll slide into other questions, I'm sure.
Sure. But for people who didn't see that first part of the show, what are you doing tonight?
Yeah, we're going to the Burnett County Government Center, 5 to 6 o'clock. League of Women Voters has asked me to come and speak about the term limit bill. And it'll slide into other issues, I'm sure, too. And I'm happy to learn from everybody.
Why did you decide on 8 years?
Well, a president serves 8 years, can only serve 8. I guess if you go backwards from that, I mean, I'm open to suggestions. If I have a senator that, like Julian Bradley, as I said, if we get together, he says, Duke, I think it should be 12. Well, let's pass something. I mean, I just think term limits are important. If my bill doesn't make it, it doesn't get put on a ballot at 8 years, 12 years is better than 8 or better than unlimited like they are. I mean, you've got to be willing to compromise in every area. I mean, the only things I won't compromise on is integrity and honesty and serving. And aside from that, when it comes to policy like this, I'm all ears.
So there's like 12 years, maybe a little bit more, but there's 99 in the Assembly, 33 in the Senate, so 132 legislators in Madison, or seats. How many of those have been there for more than 20 years, or even 15 years?
I got to interrupt you there, though, because when we talk about 8 years, we're not talking about 8 years total in government.
No, just in that seat, yeah.
People that are in office right now, the 8-year clock starts when this passes. It isn't like they're like ejected out of government.
Yeah.
And then the other thing is, we were talking about Senator Quinn. He ran for the Assembly, and then he ran for Senate. This is only 8 years in each of those offices. So, I mean, if you're that awesome of a legislator and a representative in the Assembly, you can run for Senate and serve 8 years. And if you're that great in the Senate, maybe people will choose you for governor. So, I mean, you can be in government for a really, really long time if you truly serve the needs of the people. It isn't 8 years and you're out.
Yeah, correct. And on your press release that you had out, you had put public service should not be about stewardship. Public service should be about stewardship, not careerism. And that is one of those pushbacks in the debatable aspect of term limits, is that it doesn't really solve that problem. If that is viewed as a problem from the public, which is careerism, career politician, we're seeing that Congressman Tiffany, Assembly, Senate, Congress, now he's running for governor. Then again, he's only been in office for 15 years, which is actually in a weird way not that long in a lot of quote-unquote career political world. If you look at, obviously, Biden, 30-some, 40-some years, et cetera. I'm just saying 15 years really isn't that long when you're referring to a career politician. Now, if you're in just one seat for that long, that's maybe a little bit different. But you're saying that's harmful, that we shouldn't have someone in there for 15 years in one seat, or in this case, 9 years.
I'm not saying it's necessarily harmful, but it certainly, to me, seems to be better to get fresh ideas and new looks in there from time to time.
All right. I'm going to go through. I just got ChatGPT up, got a little AI. I asked, what are some of the cons? I'm going to go through this quickly and answer these. Rapid fire. Well, you already addressed this one. Loss of experience and expertise. Forcing seasoned lawmakers out means losing institutional knowledge, policy expertise, and the relationships they've built over the years. Your response?
Yeah. Relationships are a large part of what I do in Madison. So, I mean, that's very important. But at the same time, you can still make relationships. It doesn't, as I've been told, I was told it takes 2 years to find a bathroom in Madison. Well, I know that when I went down there the first time, I found a bathroom in the first 5 minutes, and it was no problem. And if it takes you 2 years to find a bathroom, you maybe shouldn't be representing 60,000 people. I don't know.
I think that was hyperbole and a metaphor. But let's go to the second one here. Weaker legislation, stronger bureaucracy/lobbyists. When experienced lawmakers are cycled out, unelected bureaucrats and lobbyists often gain more influence because they have the continuity lawmakers lack. I know we already kind of touched on this, but that brings up an interesting question. If we're looking at term limits for our elected officials, why aren't we looking at term limits for our unelected? Why aren't we looking at term limits for the bureaucracy? Because I think if those went hand in hand, I'm much more open to it. What are your thoughts?
I'm up for that. If you're in some leadership position in our state bureaucracies, I'm okay with getting rid of them too. No problem. But I can tell you, everybody's a little bit different. And I'll say that most all the bills, it seems like that comes across my desk, they originate from lobbyists to some degree, the ideas and so on and so forth. But you got to be strong enough and willing enough to read those issues and understand what's good and what's bad. You can't just listen to the lobbyists alone. You got to use your common sense and talk to the other side of the view too. And there was one bill that came out early on the session that I was told, we got to pass this. It's very important for our re-elections and blah, blah, blah. Well, right away, that makes me feel like not voting for that. But the thing is, you got to be a big person about that and say, well, what is the bill? What does it say? How does it affect people? That's my position. If I'm viewed as being a schmuck because I voted for it, even though I studied it, it's okay. That's fine. But the bottom line is that bill is terrible, and it never made it to the floor anyway. It died. So.
Yeah. Michelle says, along with term limits, we also need to have a cap on what people can spend on campaigns. That's a whole other Yeah, campaign finance reform is probably a thing. Real quick, Ann says, I thought the forum started at 6:30
Yes.
tonight. Can you please confirm?
I've been trying to butt in because I have the flyer, Duke. Don't go at 5. Your event starts at 6:30.
Oh, I can I'll look at my calendar here. Quick.
At least according to this one. And this was shared on social media pretty recently.
I got it on my calendar for 6, so maybe I was just trying to be there early.
Yeah, could be. All right.
Glad.
Okay, let's move on to the next. What's our next agenda topic there? Oh, hold on a second. I just want to throw this in. Mark Pettis says bureaucrats need to be included in term limits. They make more laws than elected officials. Again, I don't know if there's a way to even do that, but boy, I would be a lot more open to it if, yeah.
Well, I'll flat out tell you that some of the bureaucrats in our state agencies, they don't follow the law. They don't even follow their own administrative code. So, I mean, they're so
What's that now?
Seriously, some of our state agencies don't even follow the law now. And they don't follow their own administrative code. And that's really not good. And it all comes down to them being pressured by outside interest as well. And so Mr. Pettis has that spot on. And, I'll tell you, you can go back and look at this, but the first committee meeting we had on the Environment Committee, there was a request from a DNR official to, it was in regards to administrative code on water degradation standards. And anybody that knows me knows that water quality is a really important thing being water management is. Well, it was a very good proposal the individual made. And it hadn't passed the legislature like 2 sessions in a row. Well, I'm the vice chair of that committee, and it came time for questions, and I just asked him one simple question. I thanked him for being there, told him I understood what his ask was. But I asked him, I said, how do you expect me to get behind this? And I said, I can tell you this from personal experience. When our state agencies don't follow our current statutes and our current administrative code that they have, how are we going to pass a new law and expect our Wisconsinites all across the state to follow it when your agency won't follow them? Shouldn't we focus on that first before we create more laws?
And the response was?
He did really well with it. He said, you're right. He said, sometimes my colleagues make it hard for me to do my job. You can see that on Wisconsin Eye, that exchange we had. And it was very good and what have you, but it's just reality. You don't pass new laws on the people of Wisconsin when our state agencies won't even follow them.
I'm a rule follower, so that makes me sweaty.
Well, I'm not always a rule follower. To me, rules are important, and we're a nation of laws. But when your state does things that are in violation of our Constitution or laws, you have to challenge them. I've broken the law doing that. I'm not afraid to. I'm proud to tell you that. So.
Oh my gosh, Duke.
I'm sorry.
I am. I'm like getting sweaty.
And I've never smoked a cigarette. We're going to talk about marijuana here.
Yeah.
The only cigarette I've ever smoked, I was 4 years old. My Aunt Darcy made me smoke it, and I threw up.
Made you smoke it?
Yeah.
My grandma used to make me sip the foam off of her beer.
Yeah. Oh, really?
There's that.
If my mom and dad are watching, I just want to say thank you. Thank you for my childhood. So let's put a bow on this with we'll put this into a signer veto. You're the governor. Now, this is obviously the bill that you're actually introducing, so I'm assuming I know your answer to this one. But if the current version of what you have, not change at all, would you, and the bill gets passed, you're the governor, you get to sign a veto to make it law or not. Do you sign or veto your 8-year term limits for basically Madison legislature, including the governor, and all the state elected positions, including the Assembly and the Senate? Duke, do you sign or veto? As is.
Well, I tell you, the governor doesn't sign it because this is something that the legislature passes it twice. It goes on the ballot. It's to go around the governor. But if it was a thing that the governor would sign, yes, I would sign it. Because
We're playing a little hypothetical here because you're also not the governor. So this isn't like a real life scenario here.
Obviously, yes.
Yeah. M?
Yeah, hands down, sign it.
Yeah, I'm a hard pass. Actually, not a hard pass. I'm like 70% no. It'd take a lot more convincing for me to get into it. Let's go to the next one. What is it, Em?
Okay. Legalizing medical marijuana in Wisconsin.
Didn't I see the Republicans, I think it was Felskowski, Didn't they just put out something? They're going to try to get that done, a new medical marijuana bill? I think I just saw it a couple days ago. Duke?
Yeah, there's talk of that out there. I haven't read anything specifically on it. Every bill is different, but
Yeah.
for me, the opposition to it is that it's a gateway drug to bring it into recreational use, and then all of a sudden there's problems and so on and so forth. But for me, a lot of Americans are on drugs right now, medications. We don't even know what's in those. For me, I tend to vote for medicinal marijuana, but it depends on the details of the bill.
Right.
If a doctor prescribes it and says this is going to help you with your pain and cope, I mean, I don't have a problem with it. So,
all right. So he's a sign.
Yeah.
Obviously, without all the details, Em.
Yeah, I mean, we're surrounded by states that have legalized medical marijuana.
Don't say that.
We are.
No, who cares? It's like
I
the
care
worst
because-
argument in the world is like, well, other people are doing it, so maybe that's stupid.
No, and I think all you do by not legalizing it here is people go across state lines to get it, and you turn sick people into criminals when they bring it back. I will sign it.
All right. Although I don't necessarily agree with your view on that at all, because that's debatable, I would likely sign that because anybody that has cancer or in pain should be allowed to have anything and everything they possibly could. I have a lot of concerns. I have a lot of concerns about the workplace environment, how we're going to address it, like the actual practical. When you actually play it forward, and it is legalized, there's a lot of issues that still need to be addressed. But just overall, I would absolutely sign it again without knowing all the specific details
That's
or
the game,
etc.
then.
I would sign it. Yeah.
It's all in the details, but on your
It
show,
is.
I'm not here to be flip floppy. I got to read a bill and know what it is, but in fairness, I think if it's prescribed by a doctor, I'm for it.
Yeah, did you know that in states that have it, opioid overdose deaths decrease?
I've heard that.
I'm for anything that keeps people alive. So let's do it.
Well, okay, I won't get into that.
Ben's like, I'm not for things that keep people alive.
No, I would just say, well, not all people necessarily keeping them alive, but we'll talk about that some other time. The next one is ranked choice voting. That doesn't have a lot of traction. A lot of people don't talk about that one as much. If you could just briefly, from your knowledge, Duke, explain what ranked choice voting is, and would you sign or veto that?
I'd veto that 100%. No question about it. I hate ranked choice voting. I think it kind of removes the premise of voting and representation in the first place. So no, I'm not for it.
All right, so ranked choice voting. Oh, I should have looked up like a brief explanation of it. But essentially it means that you can kind of rank people. It's like, here's your number one vote, your number two vote, your number three. So you put them in order. You just don't have one vote. You have, depending on how many people are on the ballot, then you kind of rank them. And then it's this weird calculation. Then the bottom person would fall off, and then their number two votes would go to another, or their other votes then get moved into other. It's kind of wonky. It's kind of complicated. There's like not spreadsheets. There's like websites you can just go and just kind of play with it a little bit. I've heard goods. I've heard bads. Honestly, I don't really know that much about it. Em, have you looked into it at all? So I know you and I talked about it offline like a week ago, and I said I want to look into this because it looks fun, like sports and entertainment and fun. But the more I looked into it, I'm like, actually, I think this is going to be not good. But I'm not.
Election security is already a big deal, Ben. If you're going to change our whole voting process, people aren't happy with the one we have now. There's concerns of election security.
Ranked choice voting is
it's
already thing places. So there's already like established processes and things for it. I would say, Ben, our conversation sort of triggered in my head that like I had some preconceived notions about ranked choice voting and how it might help like a third party. And I pay a lot of money every month from my therapist to tell me that I have to stop thinking in black and white. So ranked choice voting is like, oh, my best friend Dr. Rachel says that would help me.
I get it.
So I like that aspect of it. I think it would it would encourage people to to think more critically about their vote versus like bad guy, bad gal, good gal. But ultimately, I don't know, Ben. I don't know what I would do. I don't know.
Yeah, I think this is another I think I've kind of made fun of this in the past. It seems like more of the left kind of an idea, which is a lot of times those are they feel real good, and I love the idea and in the theory and in the concept of it, but then in practice, it's like if you play it forward. Once again, what problem is this solving? I don't think we really have a problem with that right now. I think we have other issues when it comes to election integrity and just getting people to vote in general.
Sure.
I think I don't think it's really solving a problem. I would, if I had to sign a veto, I would veto it, but I would probably still look into it more. I mean, you make an argument, make a case, but I haven't, nobody's made that yet, and I've looked it up. I'm actually looking up right now a lot of the issues that come with it. Yeah, I think there's just too many problems. I think it's going to create more problems than it's even trying to fix, which I still don't even know what it's trying to fix.
I just decided I would sign it.
Just because
I would sign it because I'm so tired of our two-party system.
Well, that doesn't solve. Okay, we'll do next show. We're going to do a whole ranked choice voting show.
Oh boy.
Okay.
That's what we're going to do.
I got a lot of research.
We're going to be experts on this. Oh my goodness. All right. Brian Payo says ranked choice voting raises the cream to the top in primary. In theory. Let's move on. What else? What's next on our list?
I don't know. I guess we open the floor to Representative Tucker here.
Well, yeah,
see if he's got anything going on in Madison he wants to share with us. Anything like that?
We were going to talk about the governor race a little bit.
Oh, sure. You running for governor?
No.
Are you running in the 75th again? Are you running for re-election?
Yep.
When are you officially not, or you just officially announced, I guess?
It's kind of early for that, but
yeah.
You can headline it, Ben. I'm going to run for re-election.
Okay.
And honestly, when I was elected in November, you go down back and forth to Madison for orientation, read policy manuals, go through mock hearings, all this stuff. I'll be honest with you. Up until January 6th, of course, I'm going to work hard. Anything I sign up to do, just like I hope most people, you work hard at it. But I honestly didn't know if I'd run for re-election after I went through that process. I got down there, I thought, yeah, this is pretty neat, and I'm going to learn a lot, and I'm going to work hard for people, but I don't know if it's really my cup of tea. Well, then January 6th came on the inauguration day, and that all changed for me. I had a couple of representatives come into my office and tell me I lack courage if I don't vote like they think I should vote.
I'm sorry, what? On your first day?
You heard me right. And I can just tell you that, that's just not how I function. When you meet somebody for the first time, you don't tell them they lack courage if they don't agree with you. And for me, I mean, it's fine. I get along with the folks, and I'm actually pretty good friends with one of them now. But I will tell you, when they left my office and I sat down in my chair, and it was the first time I was in my office. I'd never been into it, and boxes laying all over and whatever. I sat down after they left. I thought, that's why I'm here. And ever since, I've had kind of a knot in my stomach. I'm just excited all the time to be down there, because that kind of stuff should never happen.
No.
And it's just, that got me fired up. I'm like, hey, all right, giddy up. So
it was your first day in office. You get sworn in.
No, I wasn't sworn yet.
Oh, you weren't sworn in. So
Nope.
How did they even know, what was it about? I mean, not the specific bill or anything like that, but I mean, there wasn't hey, welcome here, how you doing? Let me know if you need to find where the bathroom is.
It's about voting on leadership and things like that in the party. And for me, I'm new to this. I don't know anyone. Oh. I mean, I go down to the building. I mean, I know some names, but I've never dealt with anybody in the Capitol. I'm not like some longtime Republican that's in the know on all the bills and all the people that are down there and all this stuff. I guess if you come in my office and you tell me that this person is bad because of A, B, and C, and that one of them things is that they bully others in the building, well, you come into my office and you bully me to do something, it kind of tells me you're in the same category as them. I'm like, yeah, I don't have time for you too much right now. So you just got to make it, to me, I mean, being down there, it takes a while to learn how to be effective. You got to build relationships. And I run with some Democrats here and there, and I run in circles with Republicans also. But the bottom line is, it's really fun for me. I could just be down there, be who I am. I'm just who I am. I'm the same on your show as I am down there. No big deal. And I respect the people that I work with down there. So
Ben, can you bring up Kristen's comment?
Did I what?
What advice would you give to Gen Z that would like to get more involved in politics, and how important would you say it is for the oncoming generations to be involved?
Oh, it's huge. But I know that there's one young man here right around my local area, and he wants to come down and intern for me for free, and he wants to get into politics, and he's told me, I want to be the governor someday. I don't know if I think somebody should have a goal of being a career politician. What I tell you is get out, be educated however you need to get a job, raise a family, get involved in your community, understand issues from A to Z, because I've been involved in a lot of different things. But I think it's really hard to jump into politics and get a degree in political science and be able to represent people. So I hope they get involved. I hope they work hard. They have a goal of being self-sufficient, because we want everybody to be self-sufficient. And, but yeah, I think it's great. I hope they get involved. And part of the reason I got involved in the first place was for our kids and our grandkids. I think people my age and older have kind of let everybody down. We've got this mess we have now, and people not getting along because we didn't elect leaders that valued family and honesty and integrity and actual service. So yeah, get involved. Absolutely.
Well, there's a lot of people involved in the Democrat side on the governor's race.
Yeah, there sure is.
Yeah. What are your thoughts about all those? What's on the Republican side? Obviously, Congressman Tiffany. I'm assuming you probably talked to Josh. What are your thoughts on the Republican side for the governor candidates that have announced so far?
Well, I'll tell you, I don't know Tom Tiffany really well. I consider him a friend, but he's from northern Wisconsin. There's no doubt that having a governor from northern Wisconsin understands our issues and will help us get things done. I mean, that's where I'm at the moment. But I also met Josh. I met him for the first time down in Amory. He had a get-together down there, and I hadn't met him in person yet or spoke with him. So I got off work early and went down there, and not as a rep or whatever. I just want to learn about him. And I got to meet him, and he's genuine. He works hard, got a lot of energy. I think he answered questions well down there. And, yeah, I like both of them. And Mr. Berrien, I believe, dropped out. I'd never met him, and I probably wouldn't have supported I wouldn't be able to support that candidate, so it's probably good that he dropped out. But Josh and Tom will have it out, and I'll sit back and see how it goes. I mean, I kind of focus on our own races here, and I know there's an open Senate seat coming up in our district, and I get along with everyone, I think, but there is one person I know running for that hasn't announced yet, and I'm definitely in that camp.
Who?
I'm not telling you that.
Who?
Nope.
Wait, what Senate seat?
Yeah.
That's up to that person to
What Senate seat is being open? What are you talking about?
Well, Senator Quinn, I think he's moving back to his house, because with all these district line changes and all that, I think he had to move out of the district to be in our district to be our senator, and I'm very glad that he did. And so our Senate seat's kind of it may not be somebody running for that, but I know of a couple people that are running, and I know where I'm at on that. I'm not afraid to jump in and endorse somebody if I'm really behind them, and but I'm gonna leave that for that person. So.
What about on the Democrat side for the governor's race? Is there anyone in there that you look at and say, you know what, I'm in the assembly and that's the governor. Let's just, a little hypothetical here, and don't worry, somebody will take this, clip this out, and use this against you for the rest of your life in campaign ads. Welcome to our shows. Is there anyone so far? I mean, you may not know them very well, but maybe something about them that says, you know what, that wouldn't be the worst. I could work with that person. Or for you, it's like, it doesn't matter, I can work with anybody. But is there anyone on the Democrat side that you're like, you know what, kind of legit?
Yeah, I haven't met any of them other than Lieutenant Governor Sarah Rodriguez.
Sure.
And she was at the Democrat Party picnic in Siren and spoke to the crowd there. And she's a good public speaker. I visited with her there for a few minutes. I like her on a personal level. I mean, and I think that the main thing I think people maybe don't acknowledge and should acknowledge is that, for me, in my gut, I kind of feel like everybody, regardless of party affiliation or not, believes that we should be honest and have some integrity and care about others and all those things. And we even everybody I think believes that we want people to be self-sufficient. We want limited government. We want effective and efficient government. I think we actually all want that, but we really disagree on how to get there. And, I think probably the lieutenant governor and I would disagree on how to get to that point. But I think pretty much everybody wants to see people work towards those goals. And it's just how do you get there respectfully? And but I like her on a personal level, and I've visited with Governor Evers a couple times, and I get along with him fine too. Certainly don't agree with social policy when it comes to that, but even economic policy, I don't agree. But as far as sitting down to be able to have a conversation with him, no problem.
What about Francesca Hong?
Don't know.
She's a socialist. She's a.
Yeah, you should have seen the look on Governor Evers' face when I asked him how I got on his security threat list. That was quite a neat.
I'm looking at Emily's face right now. Yeah. So what do you think about her? You say you don't know her very well.
I don't know her.
Isn't she in the assembly right now?
Yeah, and I don't know her well, so.
Oh, haven't had a chance to work with her.
But there are certain people in the assembly that even Republicans, I'm like, oh no, won't support that for governor. And then there's even a Democrat in the assembly that won't even stand up for a pledge of allegiance at the beginning of floor session. I mean, really? Yeah. I have a hard time with that. I would question whether that person should serve, but they are.
Emily, I feel like you want to say something there.
No, I don't want to say anything.
Yes,
I don't want to say. It gives. So we pray before every county board meeting.
What? Oh, you do?
And before every assembly session, by the way.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
And it's an interesting situation where you sort of decide, well, it does me no harm. And there's a tradition aspect to it.
Sure.
So what is it? Just do the thing.
Sure.
So like that's kind of like the pledge, even if you might have some issues around it in particular or what it says versus what you see our country is doing. Like I can totally understand that, but there is an element of sometimes you just got to do the thing and be respectful. So I get I'm
going to tell you, and I'm not afraid to put myself out there when you're a public figure like that, but through my time in the service in Desert Shield, Desert Storm, that changed me. And, I know there's something out there, and you may not like the word God and things, and I recite the Pledge of Allegiance too, but I'm going to tell you, there are just some things that are just miracles. That's the way it is. I mean, as an example.
I love that for you, Duke.
Well, here's the thing. I've been around the world. I've witnessed Sharia law firsthand, and I've even witnessed a public execution. I didn't know I was going to it, but I ended up there. And I'm going to tell you, here just a couple of weeks ago, I went out to the butterfly farm in Alpha.
Yeah.
And when I listened to Jake Sunday,
it's adorable, Ben. You would love it there.
There's such thing as a farm for butterfly. I just found out there's a reindeer farm in Barron County, and they don't farm them really. It's just like they just hang out.
Yeah. Just chill with
I didn't realize that that just talking about butterflies with Jake Sunby there, and boy, he is an expert on that stuff. It's amazing. But and I've never been a butterfly kind of a guy, but I'm not lying to you. But we're going to be voting on the monarch being our state butterfly because there isn't one right now. And if you get the blue book, you can see what all of our state creatures are. But when he mentioned that monarch butterflies, they only live like 3, 4, 5 weeks or whatever it is, different generations throughout the year. The last generation of the monarch butterfly actually grows a different shaped wings. It actually lives for like 6 months. Its aging process starts, and there's something magical about that I can't explain. I can't explain a lot of things, but I do know this. Our morals and ethics come from somewhere. Can I explain exactly where they come from? No. But
Duke, I feel like this is a better.
Yeah, if
we
you
need to have a beer.
An oath or a pledge of allegiance, and understanding that our flag represents everyone's constitutional rights and Bill of Rights, I'm not for having like the gay pride flag flying above our Capitol either. But because to me, our flag represents everyone's rights, not just one group or another group. And by putting another flag there, I think it takes away from that. But we gotta recognize that there is some kind of a higher power, even if we don't understand it.
Would you be okay with any other flag other than the United States and state flag being flown?
Yeah, the MIA flag.
Any others?
No, I don't think we need an interstate capital. And the thing is, I don't have a disliking or a hate for gay people or whatever. I mean, I will stand up on their behalf like I'll stand up for anyone, but I just don't want to ram down my throat. It's not normal, and that's okay. It's okay not to be normal. So,
Okay. All right.
All
I'm
right.
gonna let that one go, Duke.
We're making
gonna
Emily
meet for a beer
uncomfortable.
sometime.
that's where I'm at. So I don't hide it from anyone.
All right, we're getting up to right now. We've already gone past our time, so we should wrap it up here. But we're getting up to our unpopular opinions, and I think you just had yours right there. I'm just kidding. At least with Emily. Emily, what is your unpopular opinion?
Okay, real quick. We had a Wisconsin Counties Association conference last week. I missed
I didn't
both
go to
of you
that.
there.
I'm not going to that.
No, I think conferences should be dry toast. They should be boring. Yes. They should be information heavy. Yes. I don't want to get out of my chair and clap or sing God Bless America, or I don't want to do any of that you rah rah stuff. I want to take a lot of notes and feel like when I leave, I've learned something.
You know what? I think I know who you're referring to because I had a few calls, and apparently he's known for this. Speaking of Josh Showman. Was that who it was?
Yes.
Was it really?
I didn't realize
was he there? Because apparently he likes to do that. Like, okay, everybody just kind of get up and let's just start doing this. And it's, what do we do? No.
And some people love it. And that's totally great and fine for them. I'm kind of interested in like what happened to me that I can't enjoy myself.
Yeah. I worked at the Walmart distribution center when I was like 18 or 19 in Menominee. And we always have a meeting right before. Standing up, talking about what the plan is for the day, and then it was okay. Let's go. Give me a W. Give me an A. Give me an L. Then give me a squiggly, and you all had to like squat down and do the squiggly. And I never did. I'm like, yeah, I'm never doing that, and I don't care. It's just so weird. Yeah, I don't like the forced rah stuff. I don't like that. It should be just natural. Like even at church, when I go to church, everyone. And now let's do that second verse again. Okay, and now just the right side. And now just up front. Now just the men. And now just a cappella. Just come on. Just get to the sermon.
I can't do it. I don't have the personality for it.
All right. My unpopular opinion is we need a bill. I've been pitching this to Congressman Tom Tiffany, but so far it's not getting any traction. Maybe Duke, you can do something with it. I call it Ben's Big Beautiful Bipartisan Bill. And this bill, what it would be, is that politicians can no longer say, or you can't say that it was passed with bipartisan support unless you have 15% of the dissenting party voting. So, for example, if you have 100 people voting and there's 50 Republicans and 50 Democrats, and all 50 Republicans vote for it, 49 Democrats vote against it, but one Democrat comes over and they say, well, bipartisan, haha. Nope, it would have to be 15%. That'd be 7.5. That'd be like 8 people from the other side would have to actually vote for the Democrats for the Republicans and vice versa in order to actually be able to champion it as a bipartisan. It's stupid and it's dumb, I know.
No, I like
but
it.
I'm so tired of this. Is a bipartisan. We had 2 people. Right? Come on.
Yep.
Well, I like that premise there, Ben, because if I was governor, I can tell you there isn't enough bipartisan support down there for bills. And there are, from time to time, bills that come up from, say, Democrats in the Assembly that they don't see the light of day, and that's not good either. So, for me, if I was governor, that's something I would certainly support, is making sure that bills that come to the desk actually have a level of bipartisan support, because we are a pretty purple state. There has to be a voice for everyone.
We are, and I'm happy that I'm adding to the fixing things that aren't broken. This is great.
Language is important, though. Bipartisan shouldn't mean like you get one Democratic vote or you get one Republican vote. I agree, Ben. I think it's
just silly. Duke, do you have any unpopular opinions that you want to share?
I got to tell you, Ben, it seems like media always wants to look at unpopular opinions to sell advertising and that kind of stuff. To me, I'd rather.
Ooh, we need advertising.
Well, yeah, but disagreement sells, and we don't do enough to bring people together. But I can tell you that I guess being in this new fish tank, it depends on what group I'm talking to, what's unpopular and what isn't.
True.
Because people so divided. But the thing is, like I mentioned before, I try to be consistent no matter who I'm talking to. And if they like it, they do. If they don't, they don't. But the biggest thing is I remember that in the title state representative does mean that you need to listen to everyone. Give them an opportunity to change your mind or make an impact. And I'll never lose sight of that.
Oh, well, that was totally a politician's response, but I get it.
Yep. Boring.
But my
I'm
last...
a politician, but I'll tell you this. You may not think this is real, but when I started door knocking, I told people that I was proud to call myself a politician. And they'd look at me like, what is wrong with you? But the reality is, our politicians are supposed to be honest and serve people for real. And if that's my definition,
there's your unpopular opinion. I believe in honesty and truth and just telling people exactly. Yeah, that is unpopular.
Ben,
that is very unpopular.
Before we wrap up, I think that we all have to acknowledge the elephant in the room, which is that it's your 10th anniversary this week.
Oh, right. Yeah. Dryden, yeah, that was yesterday. Oh, thank you.
Congratulations.
I know. Sometimes it feels like that's that long ago, and other times it's, oh my goodness, that's it.
Yeah.
So, yes, thank you very much.
Yeah, what a good milestone.
You know what we should do? We should wrap this up with a song, right? Let's all stand up and...
I hate you for that.
I hate you for that. Duke, thanks so much for coming on, man.
Well, I really appreciate you guys, and keep up the good work, and hopefully I get to join you again sometime.
We love it. Emily, any final thoughts?
No, I'm good. Brain's empty.
My brain's empty. All right. For Emily Gall, I'm Ben Dryden, and you've been watching That's Debatable with Ben and Emily. Special thank you to Representative Duke Tucker for joining us today, and thank you for all of your comments. Quick programming note, I'll be back live on Tuesday morning when I'll be joined by Republican candidate for Wisconsin's 7th Congressional District, speaking of Tom Daly, Jessie Eben. She'll be joining me at 8:30 in the morning, and we'll have more information on that on the website on Monday. So until then, thank you for watching, and as always, have a blessed day.